Debbie Bell Hosking for FinextraTV here at Cybos in London. And I'm talking to Sumit Aggarwal of Emirates NBD and Bob Cummings of SAP. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hi,
We're talking partnerships, which is a really vibrant topic at this year's Cybos. In your opinions, why is this need for banks to partner with technology businesses?
Well, Debbie, banking has been around for a long time, and now it's a challenge to stay relevant in the light of all the digital disruption that is happening. And our consumers, whether they are dealing with us for their personal finances or for their businesses, are trying to find the same experience that they are finding on m-commerce or social media. Now, banking has been focused on regulation for the right reasons. We have very strong fiduciary responsibilities that we must deliver. However, that means that when we have to reinvent ourselves, we can't do it alone. And therefore, partnerships are absolutely important to stay relevant and to innovate.
And Bob, do you have anything to add to that about the relevance of these partnerships in a general sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think the world is moving very much away from siloed industry offerings to ecosystems, and you see this actually in all industries. You see it in the automotive industry, that cars are becoming actually rolling computers with different services. When you choose your favorite coffee shop, it's not because of the coffee that you choose, it's because of the experience. And if you look closely, there's financial services in there's all sorts of experiences. So as we enter this experience economy, it's all about partnerships, and of course it's also about technology. Everything's run through technology, and we're extremely excited to be able to work with the Emirates NBD, and thank you so much for your partnership in this time. I think probably if you look at the disruption in industries around the world, financial services is really in a storm compared to the other industries. We work with the other industries, and it's amazing to see how really business models are fundamentally changing. So it's necessary to succeed.
And Bob, you mentioned the partnership between yourselves. For you as Emirates NBD, how do you feel the partnership has changed the way you do business, your brand?
Well, it's a start, and we have a long way to go. However, we are looking at it in two aspects. One is the holy grail of data management, where we've already started work with SAP, and we are very excited about it because being one of the largest banks in Dubai, we own a lot of data. And SAP is helping us first and foremost organize it well, and then hopefully develop the analytics. The second partnership that is equally exciting, if not more, is democratizing ERP. So what we are together trying to achieve is actually a different measure of A, financial inclusion, and two, if I may use the term, re-intermediation, that we embed ourselves in the ecosystems of our clients by partnering with SAP, and expect to deliver a great client experience, but also become far more relevant in all the financial services that our clients may require end-to-end.
Yeah, I would just add, I think that Emirates NBD is doing something extremely important in the world, and of course technology will serve that. Is there are a lot of underserved parts of the community, of the population. So often banks will spend a lot of effort on very large companies, on high wealth individuals, and then of course have a retail business. But there are certain pockets, like there's the unbanked, there's also small businesses which traditionally have been difficult to serve because it's been a bit labor intensive, and without technology it's hard to serve them. And I think in your region you're becoming pioneers in this, and really at the base of it is technology. How do you actually make it so that it's not labor intensive, but that these small companies can actually receive top class services, that the unbanked communities can actually also receive and be included in the financial economy. And this is actually, I think, fundamentally one thing that's going to also bring prosperity to the world and also lift a lot of people out of poverty, just this scenario, right?
Actually, Bob, I'm tempted to add something that I missed out earlier, and which is a very key component. banking is all about trust.
Yeah.
And digitization is opening a new world for us to build not only trust between us and our clients, but very importantly between SMEs and the rest of the ecosystem. Because SMEs suffer the most when the industry is inefficient. So when they find it hard to obtain a loan, or they find it hard to connect to counterparties, and with our initiative, our joint initiative, more than just doing a good cause, we are actually going to empower the economies that we serve by building trust through digitization.
Yeah. And often those communities, they often don't know how to approach the financial, for the banking system, or often insurance or others, because they don't really understand how they fit into what their risk profile is, what their credit profile is. So often you see them working suboptimally. I think these companies, we can help them not only to have a great experience, but become much more productive and have much more output and be able to do things they've never been able to do, thanks to the ability that they can have financial services.
Absolutely.
So taking all that on board, does that sort of come under the umbrella of your experience economy in a sense? I mean, what are your thoughts on that phrase, experience economy?
So, if I may,
Go ahead.
I've always been a banker, and I believe that one industry that is facing the differentiation challenge is banking, right? First and foremost, we don't produce anything that is tangible, right? On top of that, we have the challenge around commoditization, because a lot of the onslaught on banking is on the basis of a better experience, right? And we have the so-called rails, we have the regulation, we have hundreds of years of existence, and yet it's almost a price war. And we believe that the reason is that we need to now relook at experience completely differently. While we profess to offer great service, in today's world you have to scale it, and most important part is you have to get proactive about it. And we can't get proactive about experience without riding on digitization. So, to answer your question very directly, 100% it is about experience, because we believe that the industry has the next biggest opportunity of differentiating, and my favorite term, re-intermediating, by delivering top of the class experience where, dare I say, we could be challenging some of those great coffee chains and all, which have created a flutter with the amount of payment volume, for example, they handle. It's actually our territory, and clients are expecting that we respond to that challenge, but become more proactive. Gone are the days that you call your favorite relationship manager and voila, things happen. Should be the other way around.
Yeah. And I think we're also seeing a generational change very clearly. I think the generation in which we grew up, when I chose my bank, I probably looked at what my parents' bank was, and then when I chose, I would maybe compare I would look at which was a trustworthy name and things. Today it's very different. I mean, people will be sitting on the metro and think, I'm moving to a new city, I might need some banking services, talk to somebody, so look at this app, look at what's here, it's all about the experience, that they'll choose it on the experience. And if you don't offer that experience, it's very easy to switch as well nowadays, which in the past wasn't as easy, right? So you need to, just to stay competitive, you have to think in terms of not saying, I'm a bank and I have a financial product at the center of my universe, and now I will try to make it as good as I can and sell it as far as I can. You have to put the customer in the center of your universe and say, what am I actually trying to do for this customer? What is it? Because behind their mind is not that they want a bank. What they would like is liquidity, they would like loans, they would like to be able to achieve something, build a house or whatever it is, or run a business. And so that's really what it's going to be. It's going to be table stakes for all company to get there, and then the future of competition will be about who has the best experiences. I think it's inevitable.
In fact, let me infuse some Middle Eastern flavor into it, right? The region is perceived to be about exotic, right? And it is. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. But there's another shift happening because of the demographics. And a lot of people say, millennials have very little attention span, some say shorter than a goldfish. I believe it is slightly different. I think their attention span is targeted. They search for relevance. They search for what's in it for me. And that's where banks have a huge challenge, because the whole definition of relationship is changing. You know, if you're not relevant, if you're not fit for purpose, it's going to be hard to convince the new generation. And again, therefore, we have to get into the mobile phone, for example, right? Get into social media. We are finding out that in the Middle East now, actually the new generation is actually reaching out to things that are available on the mobile phone. And for example, broadsheets are not being read. So if as a bank, I'm still focused on broadsheets, I have a problem. Now blaming the millennial for having short attention span is not the right thing. So the experience piece is also from the point of view of being where the clients are, and most importantly, unlike probably previous generations, it's not even 3 strikes. You have to get it right almost all the time.
Well, gentlemen, thank you. That's been really insightful, and I have to end it by saying have a great experience.
Thank you, Debbie.
At the rest of the conference here at Sibos.
Thank you.
Thanks so much,
Likewise.
Debbie.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Bye-bye.